Pregame.com.
Saturday, college basketball action. We're going to the Big Ten because we've got a special guest in studio direct from Motown. We've got Johnny Detroit, and we're going to preview Purdue at Michigan on Saturday. Johnny, thanks for coming by.
I love being in Vegas. Obviously a great town, and the fact of the matter is when I'm around you, RJ, guys like Brian Leonard, I feel a little better about, my weight and how healthy I feel. So it's just a real big positive thing for me to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem, sir. Glad you could help. I heard that the stripper economy went up this week.
Due to the fact that there could be people back home, including the mother of my children watching this, nope, stayed in the room watching PBS the whole time.
Okay, we'll go with that. Moving on to today's game. Purdue at Michigan. This is, we're taping on Friday, so we don't have the lines out yet for Saturday, but I'm projecting Michigan's going to come out for possibly 4.5-point favorite here against Purdue. Michigan, they're still in the running for the Big Ten title. They're chasing top dog, another Michigan team, Michigan State, but you being the Michigan alumnus, what do you think about your team here?
Well, I mean, there's a few things. Is one, being a Michigan homer, and my neighbor, he goes to every Michigan game. I mean, his whole house is decked out in blue. I follow all the local blogs, the beat writers. There's a lot of excitement around the program. The fact is, and Michigan State people are going to hate this, is Michigan State has been obviously a really good school, but despite what they've done over the years, if you look at their rosters, they won with the Flintstones the year that they played Carolina. Like 8 of the kids are from Michigan, 2 from Ohio. They can't become a national program. And nobody could really dispute that because the run that they've been on, they've never really got like the stud from California, the stud from Texas, the kids from Florida. They're good because they got a good coach. They get the best kids in Michigan who aren't jumping every year to go to the NBA, so he could continually build a program. Where Michigan, they are the premier program. They have the 5th best recruiting class coming in as of now. Next year they had a really big coup with that kid, the real big white kid they picked up. And the fact is there's a lot of excitement right now. And I think you got to go back earlier in the season. When they played Purdue the first time, they were getting points. Michigan had a big second half, which they've done a lot this year. The other day when they came back against Northwestern, they stormed it back, and then they stormed away in overtime. Is the fact that Michigan is a very solid team coach-wise. Everything that I'm reading, like the chemistry amongst the players, everything is going real good. But the thing is, we spoke before the video, this is a real important game for Purdue,
Absolutely, and we'll touch upon that. Purdue is a team that right now they're sitting in 6th place in the Big Ten. Do you feel the Big Ten is a strong enough conference that they're going to get 6 teams into the tournament?
See, now this is the thing that I've always historically had a problem with, is the fact that the Big Ten, whether anyone wants to believe it or not, they are a money-making conference. So they always get that a little extra plug, and I think it's good, but then it's bad because in the Bulls, when you said the whole conference, they're in matchups maybe they shouldn't even be in, and they get beat. And we see it in the tournament a lot of years. You see these 6th and 7th type Big Ten teams that maybe if they were playing in another conference wouldn't go. So I think they have an outside shot, but they aren't guaranteed, which means it's an important game. And like you said, I think this line's going to open up anywhere from 4 to 5, and I have it at 3. But one of the things that always makes me nervous about Michigan is since, the way that Beeline runs his team, they are an outside shooting team. And when they beat Purdue the first time, they hit, I think, like 54% as a team from the field. So it reminds me of like in the tournament when those like Princeton squads would come in. If their shots are on, they could beat North Carolina. Michigan is deeper where, Princeton doesn't hit their threes, they're going to get blown out of the water. Where Michigan, if they're not hitting their threes, they could stay competitive on talent alone. But it's hard for me. I think there's going to be too much overvalue on Michigan. They're the sexy team right now. The fan base, the fact that they're undefeated at home. They played really well at home. They had, once they had the upset of Ohio State, people were expecting a letdown game. It looked like it would have been early on. Northwestern was kind of...
Northwestern came out in that game, and, and I'll admit, I was one of the games I used on the, the betting first look this week, and Northwestern, that was a sweet spot for them. I mean, because if you're handicapped,
it was a perfect letdown. You beat your rivals,
not only your rival, but
the team up north, as they call them. They hate us so much. Actually, I'm not even going to give the coach credit and say his name, but the new coach guy who came in, who couldn't foot it at Florida, they have Michigan off the thing. I don't even say Michigan. It's that team up north. So, to beat not just Ohio State, where even if there was a down year for Ohio State, being from Michigan is a big thing. It's an exciting team. It's what they focus on. But beating an Ohio State team that many people have as, power rated is essentially one of the best teams, top 3 in the country, was a big thing. They go to Northwestern, a competitive, conference, a not bad Northwestern squad. It was a perfect letdown spot. Started off where it was like let down to beat Ohio State. And to me, to come back like they did in the second half, to push the game into overtime, and then I think they started overtime on something like a 9-0 run. Right. To me, shows a lot about the chemistry of this team.
This team, I mean, that's huge to be able to come back on the road off of a big upset like that, and then, and throw in, I'm a situational handicapper. Obviously, that was a big situation to go against them, just coming off Ohio State into the Northwestern game. But now they had their last home game coming up, so it was look ahead to senior day. So they had it, coming off the big game and the look ahead. It was a sandwich spot, flat spot, everything you want to put in there. So give them credit for that. Looking at this game with the need factor for Purdue, and I think that I might be a little bit gracious on this line. Saying 4.5. I think that, and I know people, there's guys in the forum, sometimes they don't like us to always hear talking about value, but I mean, value is what we're here to find. We want to find edges, and we want to get the best of it. We want to get the best of the lines. And I think Michigan, because of what they've done in recent games, they are the sexy team right now. I mean, next to Michigan State, it's Michigan and Ohio State that's getting all the attention in the Big Ten. So you're going to pay a tariff for them. And I think you might be paying a little bit too much of a tariff, the fact that they beat them already on the road. Purdue might be a live dog here. This is your play, though. I got a slight lean to Purdue, but not strong. What's Johnny Detroit say?
I think the key going in right away is the fact that one of the things that's really hurt Purdue this season is they've struggled early. Michigan has played well when they've needed to in the second half. For Purdue to have a shot, they can't struggle early. So I personally think Michigan should be favored by 3. So when this line comes out, we're doing this a day early, so the lines aren't even up yet. If it comes out at 4 or more, I think that there is value on Purdue. But in terms of I don't really have a strong opinion on it due to the fact that I think with Michigan's outside shooting, I'm hesitant. The fact that I think they're going to be overvalued because how well they've done at home. I also lean Purdue, but the fact is one of the things that makes pregame great is the transparency we have, and I've been on probably the worst run, even dating back when I was calling from a payphone and betting $10 and having to hustle baseball cards to be able to pay my bookie at the end of the week. I've been getting the best of the lines, I've been beating the moves, and I just been getting destroyed. So I've been hitting the books, calling on contacts offshore in Vegas, guys that I respect, and I've actually came up with what I feel is a system that's going to get me over the hump. So I'm going to go to the system on this. So personally, I like Purdue in the points. I think there's tons of value, like you said, especially if that line's 4 or higher. So for this one, I'm going to use my new system, and it's secret, so I don't want anyone sharing this. Heads is going to be the home team for H. T for tails is going to be the visitor. So we're going to see what the new system likes. There it is. Johnny Detroit's secret super system. Purdue plus the points. So that being said, I think we got to go with Purdue. It's unanimous. Me, you, and the secret super system.
There you go.
And these quarters are available at johnny@pregame.com for $100 a piece.
I don't know where to go after that.
Probably to lunch, I'm guessing.
Oh, what a guy. Nice guy. All right, he's Johnny Detroit. I'm Marco D'Angelo. The official pick is from Johnny Detroit is Purdue. I agree with Purdue plus the points there. You can take that for what it's worth. I did it the old-fashioned way. We'll see how that works out. You can carry on the conversation, and I'm sure you guys want to carry on the conversation after this video. Go to pregamevideos.com, and we'll have our show notes, and you can ask Johnny, is there any special technique in the flip?
How I picked the quarter, where it came from.
pick a certain year, new quarter, old
Exactly.
quarter, okay? That's it. He's Johnny Detroit. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Stay tuned. We're going to do one more video. We're going to talk about, next week, we're right here around the corner to March Madness. But before we get to the big dance, there's the conference tournaments. And I think that's the most intriguing time to handicap college basketball. I think it presents the best value of all the season. We're going to talk about it next. Stay tuned to pregame.tv.